Okay, this is a Salvation Army shelter in St. Paul. We have people checking in during the day. People come in and kind of have a place to chill in. They have water, the lunch and breakfast. When you come in, you check with these people here. And brand new place that was just finished building this last year. Huge complex. Unfortunately, the people are not allowed to, as you can see, extremely hot outside. And it's 80 degrees outside. 80 degrees outside, and they are subjected to the weather. The shelter is closed. This is a night shelter. This building is a night shelter. This is, you have to wait like 2 years on the waiting list to get assignment, bad assignment for the top floor. Everybody else is on the night time. You see about 400 or 500 people sleeping on the floor, absolutely on the floor with some mattress that was provided to them. And when you get to those rooms on the top floor, they actually have to share 2 people, 3 people to a space. They actually have like a bunk bed, prison style living. You have people out of control, people that if you want to live in peace, it's really impossible to live here. Loud music, drug and prostitutions. And there's a hospital next door. Here, St. Joe's Hospital next door. And just like their attachment. This is also another, used to be extension of Salvation Army shelters. This building is completely empty right now. Imagine you have people sleeping on the floor every night. In the morning they get kicked out at 6 in the morning. They can't check in until 7, and then they sleep on the floor. After they check in at night. And the heat right now is impossible for, even if you have money, it's impossible to get food. Everything is robbed last week, and there's no money. I mean, there is no food. You have to drive to the next city, which is, if you're homeless, you have no way to get to the next city. And St. Joe's Hospital next door. This is an extension of Salvation Army. There is old shelter. This is the old shelter, as you can see. It looks old. None of this building is. This is just office. People are not allowed to live in these shelters. This is not nobody who is homeless allowed to go into this building. This building is basically 4 offices. It's another big church. So even though they spend based on what was available on the public report, it says that they spend over $50 million donation of some kind. But the only thing that homeless people get out of it is bigger floors. They sleep on the floors. They either discriminated out of the housing processes. People who is in charge of processing the application, basically brides. If you don't have money to bride somebody, if you can't bride people, you can't get the housing. You go in there, you applied, you tell the people you're giving the application to, hey, I need this place really desperately, very bad. I've been homeless for a long time. What if I give you 200? Then you get the freaking housing within the few days, versus someone who is being on the waiting list for the last 2-3 years. It's basically for sale. Then we have Excel Center over here. That's good. People kind of chill out. People kind of chilling outside. They're not allowed to. There's no space for them to come in. They're not allowed to go in here other than getting water, other than using the restroom. You can't get in. So they can't get in until 6. And even if you come in right now, you need housing. They will require of you to have, and they have a freaking police on site. They have the police on site to make sure they kick you out. They keep you out, and bunch of construction come out to keep you out until 6 p.m. So they kick you out in the morning. At 6 a.m. rush you out, and then you can't come back in. Can't come back in until 6 in the morning. You can't come back in until they can't come back in until the night time, and you see people suffering extensively, working in the heat. Exhausting. And they do have a little bit of water. And they provide them with some water. Lunch is given to them, but the food that they have for lunch, you can't even give it to your dog. Disgusting food. All the food is donated to them. As you can see, the people that, random people that just come out of the community to provide them with food. This is what they this normally this happens every few hours. but normally it's not enough to get around. It will, whatever that car bring in will be gone in 5 minutes. Too many people who need it, and there's not enough. They're fighting over a freaking parking spot. But anyway, we want to focus on the goodness of the people who are doing this. We have normal coming out and just helping out the community. But overall, on this street, if you just go in downtown, every block there's people sleeping on the sidewalk, trying to cover in the shadows, on the shadows of whatever you see, to try to survive the heat. See how it's extremely heat, and sometimes you have people in the community that come out and help them with food, help them with water, and but there's not enough to go around. So that's the Salvation Army.